You absolutely have to see this because one of Donald Trump's worst mental decline moments yet just happened at a public press conference and it all got caught on camera. I mean, look, let me just put it this way. If Joe Biden did this, if Biden did the exact same thing that Donald Trump did in this video, there would be wall-to-wall coverage on Fox News for a week, maybe even a month. So I want to show you this clip where Donald Trump gets confused about where he's going, where he's meeting Vladimir Putin. But before I do that, I want to zoom out a little bit and give you some context on this press conference, which is scary in its own right. You have a president who's mentally declining announcing something that's incredibly authoritarian. Check this out. According to Time magazine and, of course, a number of other sources, quote, "This will go further. Trump puts the DC police under his control and deploys the National Guard." Earlier today on this channel, we talked about Donald Trump's plan to send the military into Washington, D.C., and it's officially in motion. It's officially happening. It's one of the most dictatorial moves of his presidency so far, and that's saying something. Donald Trump announced Monday he was putting the Washington, D.C. Police Department under federal control and deploying the National Guard on the streets of the nation's capital, a striking move taken over the objections of local leaders who say Trump is exaggerating the city's crime problems, and they're exactly right. DC crime is at its lowest level in over 30 years. Violent crime has plummeted even this year in 2025. On top of the historic decline last year, it's gone down an additional 35%. Violent crime is plummeting, yet Donald Trump says he has to deploy the National Guard to keep everybody safe. It's just fiction. Trump said he declared a public safety emergency and invoked Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act, which gives the President of the United States the authority to commandeer DC's police department in conditions of emergency nature. Attorney General Pam Bondi is now in charge of the department in DC. It's time for dramatic action, Trump said at a press conference that stretched to over an hour as he took questions on a wide range of topics. He did not specify how long the federal takeover of DC would last. It would not surprise me if this takeover of DC, the National Guard in DC, lasts Donald Trump's entire presidency. He wants to expand executive power. He wants to test the limits of the presidency, and this seems like his next thing. Trump is launching a rare expansion of presidential authority over local government and said he would not stop with the nation's capital. So other major cities, if you live in New York, Chicago, of course, we've seen it in LA, Atlanta, wherever you might be in the United States, keep in mind that Donald Trump is not looking to stop at DC. This is just the beginning in his mind. Trump also mentioned other major cities, as we just talked about, where he wants to put the police under federal control, including New York City, Baltimore, and Oakland. They're so far gone, Trump said about those cities. This will go further. We're starting very strongly with DC. Now, of course, Donald Trump does not have the authority or the power to control the police departments in any of these cities. The only reason he can do it in DC is because it's not a state; it is a federal land. But he is looking to do it regardless. I mean, it's as dictatorial as it gets. Now, aside from all of that, aside from this insane press conference, I do want to show you this clip where Donald Trump just has this very weird decline moment. We'll talk about it and then look at some other clips after, which are equally as strange. But just take a look at this. Truly insane.
And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was with graffiti. But I thought it was very respectful that the president of Russia is coming to our country as opposed to us going to his country or even a third-party place. But so look. Let's just do this. Let's do this. It's going to be a big thing. We're going to Russia. That's going to be a big deal.
Okay, so in this one press conference, Donald Trump went from saying, "I'm going to Russia to meet Putin." Then he flipped back around and said, "Putin's coming to the United States to meet me." Then he flipped again and said, "I'm going to Russia." As I said at the beginning of this video, and I firmly believe this, if this were Joe Biden, if Joe Biden confused Russia with the United States of America and said that he was going to Russia when in reality he was going to Alaska to meet a world leader or Vladimir Putin in this example, Republicans would freak out. wall-to-wall coverage on Fox News for a week. All of their Republican social media accounts would be nonstop talking about how the president of the United States confused the country with Russia. But since it's Donald Trump, they are silent. They are not saying a word on the fact that him, who loves Putin, loves Russia, is now confusing the country that he leads with Russia, saying, I'm going to go meet him there. It is a clear sign of mental decline. In a matter of minutes, switching back and forth from I'm going to Russia to he's coming here to I'm going back to Russia. It is insane. And we keep getting moments like this more and more often with Donald Trump, where he just slips up so frequently. We also talked about on this channel recently about how Donald Trump fell asleep in the middle of a White House meeting. This man is clearly unwell, and Republicans won't acknowledge it, but of course we will here on this channel. Another clip I want to show you is Donald Trump talking about the decline of Washington, D.C., the supposed decline, and you have to see his justification for what happened. I mean, it's insane.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you. So, just to conclude, Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, most beautiful places anywhere in the world. It was years ago. We had one problem that was a pretty big problem. The radical left got out of control and they started trying to rip down statues. And I said, let's go pass a law real fast. We're going to do it real fast, but we were blocked by the Democrats who do not want safety.
Oh my, you know, it's really hard not to get like very angry when I listen to this man speak. He's he's blaming the Democrats for not wanting statues of slave owners in Washington, D.C. That's, in his mind, the reason why Washington, D.C. is not a beautiful city any longer. The radical left doesn't want to honor slave owners, so D.C. has collapsed as a city. It's no longer beautiful. And it's just so funny that the convicted felon, 34-time convicted felon, is up there saying the Democrats don't want safety. It's the Democrats who are soft on crime. The same guy that pardoned all of those January 6th insurrectionists, the same guy who committed 34 felonies, the same guy who is facing 3 other indictments in 3 other jurisdictions. The only reason those went away is because he got elected president. They should bring those back after he leaves office, by the way. That guy is trying to tell us that we Democrats don't want safety. Sure, no, that makes perfect sense. What a goddamn lunatic. I could say so much more, I'll bite my tongue. And finally, I want to show you this last clip where he says, we're going to make DC beautiful, and he cites his improvements, quote unquote, at the White House as the reason to believe him. Insanity.
And everybody else. Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, and most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. And we're going to make it that. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make it smart. We're going to make it beautiful. So beautiful. Some of the buildings, we're going to add to it. You see what we've done at the White House. White House is a whole different building. I do that in my part-time because it's a natural instinct as a real estate person. I was very good at that, and I was very good at fixing things up. I like fixing things up. You see what's happening. The marble floors are being reinstalled, renovated, fixed. The whole place is becoming very beautiful. We're going to be adding a magnificent ballroom, most beautiful ballroom, I think, anywhere. We need...
You know, the guy who went bankrupt 6 different times, the guy who failed running a casino where the house always wins. That man who failed in construction a number of times is saying, well, look at what I did to the White House. I ripped up the Rose Garden. I added artificial gold to the Oval Office, making it look so tacky. I'm building this random ballroom who nobody asked for. Nobody asked for a ballroom at the White House. Nobody asked for this, which inevitably will be passed on to the taxpayers because the workers are going to be funded, the upkeep is going to be funded, things like that by us, the American taxpayer. But this guy thinks he's going to make DC beautiful when in reality, everything beautiful that he touches goes to die. That's the Donald Trump way. And unfortunately, he now has control, or at least the federal government, along with Pam Bondi and himself, now have control over our beautiful capital, which if you've been to DC in recent years, you know it is a beautiful place. You know that crime has gone down dramatically in the past 30 to 35 years there. It is insane what this guy is doing. But look, I just had to show you this moment where he got confused on where he was going, what location he was meeting Putin, couldn't figure it out for the life of him, and flipped back and forth in his own press conference. So look, I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this entire press conference. I thought it was utterly insane. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Drop a like on the video. All of that really, really goes such an incredibly long way. And thank you to all of the new people who are joining us all the time. Can't tell you how much that means to me. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day.